We'll do it. One question about that, because I'm going to do it in September. I know nighttime temperature is important as well. 12 degrees or warmer is ideal, I think, is it not?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, warm. If it's extremely hot out there, I don't even think you want to go out there and do the work, actually. It's too hot. But, heading into the fall is a great time to do lawn work. You can aerate, you can dethatch, power rake. You can top dress lawns. You can do all that stuff starting anytime around the end of August and into early or right through the month of September is fine. And it's a good time. And overseed. Remember, don't forget to overseed.
Overseed is very, very important. Yep. And, Ken, we used to, back in the day, I always say back in the day because I'm getting long in the tooth now. But look at back in the '60s, there were no turf farms in town. There was no turf farms in the Okanagan, and the first turf farms came when the airport expansion came in. And Jerry can remember that because Jerry helped us landscape the airport when it expanded at Ellison Field.
My back is still sore, Don.
I know. Well, spreading topsoil was really your favorite thing to do. But look at. We used to use just sow, and we had tremendous success. And the time of year would be September, October. It'll germinate nicely for you, and then in the spring it comes. Grass is extremely hardy. It's not going to freeze. Even the young grass won't freeze. It's amazing. But water is important when a new lawn goes in. Yep. And it's very important in the spring to get the moisture onto the lawn as early as you can in the spring. Even if you're top dressing or overseeding, that's important.
Good. Just one quick question for you. The north side of our house, it's cool, gets very little sunshine. I need a plant or a shrub to put in there that gets a lot of shade. What's a good suggestion?
Is it deer friendly or not deer friendly?
No deer.
No deer. Oh, fabulous. Well, you can do the Hydrangea group. The Hydrangea macrophyllus are nice. They're the big, mop head hydrangeas, and they do quite well. At least in our climate, because we're nice and warm. But in those shady areas, they do quite well.
Okay, that sounds
one of the things. One of the plants that I really enjoy in our shaded areas, Polygonatum, the Solomon seal. It grows to about 2-3 feet tall, depending on the conditions, and it spreads nicely, so it fills in. It's a good filler plant.
It's a durable
plant, you can get it in a variegated type, which is the one we have, which is very attractive. As a matter of fact, I'm just about to plant some into Joe and Sabrina's backyard here. They've got quite a shaded backyard in Vancouver here, and they are. Dealing with challenges when you have shade, just as you are, and that's what I brought down. I brought some Polygonatum down for them to enjoy. Yeah, there's lots of things that can be grown in the shade, and in the Okanagan, our shade is a little less shady than it is down here at the coast. As you know, when we have a bright sunshine, it seems to filter even onto the north side of homes and whatnot. So. We have a good opportunity to plant lots of things in the shade.
Yeah.
So you had said, I think Solomon steel and Polygonatum.
Well, Polygonatum is the proper name for Solomon seal. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
Good.
All righty. Well, thanks so much for calling in.
Really appreciate it. Thank you very much. Thanks for taking my call, and have a great weekend.
Yeah. Have a wonderful week. All right.
Take care.
Yeah. Bye-bye. All righty, and we have another caller on the line. We have Janet on the line. Good morning, Janet.
Good morning.
Morning. How are we doing today?
Very good, Ken. Thank you. How are you?
Really good, thanks. It's a lovely day.
It is. Great day for gardening, the rain.
Yeah, for sure. It certainly is. Are you calling in about the Peachland Fall Fair?
I am.
Fabulous. What's going on?
Well, this is our 105th year for the Peachland Fall Fair.
Oh, wow. Amazing.
Our theme this year is Roots and Shoots.
Nice.
The first Peachland Fall Fair was actually held in 1919, and it was sponsored by the Peachland Women's Institute and the Farmers Institute.
Mm-hmm.
So at that time, packed fruit became a popular item for competition. And local packing houses and individual farmers competed very vigorously, and it was quite the coup to have the best peaches of the year.
Wow.
Yeah,
that sounds
so
cool.
then after World War II, the Women's Institute continued as sponsors, and local organizations took on a more active role. It became so popular that they had to create a new committee, which was the Fall Fair Committee, and that was formed at that time. So thanks to the many dedicated volunteers and the sponsors, we are celebrating 105 years.
Wow, that's amazing. That's fabulous.
It is. It is.
And so what's the dates, times, and what do we need to do?
Okay, so the dates are Saturday, September 7th, 1 to 5. The official opening is 1:30. It's at the Peachland Community Center.
Okay.
Our official opening is at 1:30, and we're having Dan Albus, our local MP, will be opening the fair for us.
Nice.
And Sunday, September 8th, we're open 10 to 4, and the awards ceremony is at 4 p.m.
Wow.
So the admission is $3 for adults, 12 and under is 50 cents.
Mm-hmm.
And there's so many categories. There's actually 9 different sections. Each section has bacon and preserves has 66 categories. Vegetables has 64 categories. Our junior section has 40 categories. And we're really encouraging young people to come out and participate this year.
Yeah, great idea. Good to get the youth out there and into the garden.
Absolutely.
Yeah, well, that's fabulous. So how do we find the building itself? You go into Beachland and you're on the main drive? That's
a good question. Beach Avenue.
Beach Avenue, yeah.
Sun Community Center. So it's actually, the address is actually 4456th Street.
Okay.
But, yeah, it's right on the main drag in Peachland.
That'll be easy to find. And so just one more time, dates and if people need more information.
Okay, so Saturday, September 7th, 1 to 5. Sunday, September 8th, 10 to 4. Mm-hmm. And for any information, you can go on www.peachlandfallfair.ca. We have online copies of the booklet, as well as we do have hard copies of the booklets available in Peachland at Beach Avenue Pharmacy, the IGA, and the library. And in West Kelowna, you can pick up booklets at Painters Market, Dogwood Nursery, Buckerfield's Home Hardware, and Nestor's Market.
Fabulous.
Yeah, and in Summerland Sweets and Nestor's Market. So if you'd like a hard copy of the book with all the categories, and you're welcome to do that.
Well, that sounds great. Sounds like it's going to be a great weekend. So, I'll have to get out and pay a visit. That sounds really like a lot of fun. That's fabulous.
Okay, thanks so much for the opportunity to promote the fair.
Yeah, no problem, Janet. Thanks for calling in.
Okay, take care.
All righty, bye-bye. All right, so there you go.
And
yep.
We've got to take a short break here, I know, but I remember that 1919 Fall Fair very well.
You were there?
I was there. Actually, I was one of the judges.
There you go. Eh?
There you go. Okay.
Yeah, we do actually, we have one more caller. We're just going to try to squeeze in here before the break. We have Sharon on the line. Good morning, Sharon.
Good morning, Dawn and Ken.
Yeah, how are you today?
I have to talk really fast today then.
Yep.
Okay, I also live in Saanich, but in the Greater Victoria area. Mm-hmm. It's on the north side. I have a hydrangea there, sort of like a PG type. It's really easy to deadhead, which I love. Mm-hmm. And behind there, I've got one of those, lemon balm cedars. And it used to be in the tub, and it only grew to 2 feet in the tub.
Right.
Now it's like 20 feet. Well, not quite,
what?
like 9 feet. Well, I guess it's healthy, and it's got some brown spots. I guess I could trim it and make it into a shorter thing. We've got brown spots this year. It's been around in the soil on the front foundation for about, it got brown this year because of that January freeze we had.
Yes.
And it was there since 2018. I was wondering if I was good to remove that, what would be good? It would be behind the hydrangea, which is a PG. It's the one that you can trim really low, and I just usually, since it's very cooperative, so I love just standing there and just, having my tea or whatever, and then just snap off all things. All the bulbs, not the bulbs, the spent flowers. Mm-hmm. So is some hydrangeas easier to prune than others because I've got 6 or 8 hydrangeas in my yard, and it's a very small yard, but that's a lot of work.
Well, they are fabulous because they do bloom right through the summertime, and that's
they're beautiful.
Yeah, so that's what counts is sort of when you're spending time out in the yard, and you can be out in the garden. It's not maybe raining very much like in spring and fall. So, that's probably when you want things to bloom. So I always look at those summer blooming things like the hydrangeas. There's so many different types, oak leaf hydrangeas, another beauty. If you've ever tried
seen those. But my concern, don't mean to butt in because I'm watching the clock too. Mine says white, and I've got a blue one on the other side, and then on the other side I've got one of these big, huge mop head ones, the easiest thing to trim. It only needs watering twice. Those ones the big, huge ones?
Yep.
And so what would you recommend that I plant behind this PG hydrangea, which is being replaced? It's also replacing the cedar that's behind there.
Yeah, well, that's a bit of a not really difficult, but because I don't know how much space you actually have.
There's quite a bit. Other than this, it is near the foundation, but it's past the drip line. So because I know how with drought you kind of take advantage of the rain. And the only thing is, and that's where the drain tiles are usually in most houses, and this is an older home. It's a 1965 home. So I'm looking for something that you might think that would go with it, but I definitely don't want white, because I don't like white on white in that instance.
And did you want another evergreen, like something like...
what would you recommend? What would be a good companion plant? I want something that's vertical.
Yeah. So slender hinoki cypress comes to mind.
A what?
A slender hinoki cypress.
Oh,
and this is
not very good at spelling. I mean, is it
Hinoki.
Hinoki. It's called a hinoki?
Hinoki.
Okay,
is that it's a big group. It's a big group of cypresses that grow very. They grow all different shapes and sizes, but this one is a slender growing one that grows very tall, narrow, and they're just lovely, deep dark green color, and they look really great. You can actually get one that's got some golden tinge on it as well.
Oh, that would be nice.
Yeah, and it's really quite lovely. It looks like it's been snowed on. Actually, a golden shrub that's.
So is that the generic name, or is that the new Latin name, or is that the?
It's a generic common name. Yeah.
So it's Hinoki. So its common name is cypress, right?
Yeah, it's a type of cypress, but there's thousands of cypress.
I don't have internet, so in my mind, I'm trying to visualize this.
If you go to the garden center and you ask for hinoki cypress, they'll send you to a section. They'll have a whole section of different types, short, fat, round, tall, wide, all different types. Okay. And you were looking for the slender one that's more
Okay, so
skinny.
I want slender?
Yep.
Is that for myself? No, I'm kidding.
Slender hinoki, that's what you got.
And is there dwarf ones?
Yeah, you'll have to ask, but I would start shopping in that direction. Okay. And then while you're there, too, maybe they have some other ideas of some alternate plants that might be also a good idea you can look at the same time.
Okay, now, quick. I know.
We're actually, we're running out of time.
Does it go fast, or does it need trimming?
They can be trimmed if needed, but about 2 feet a year. All righty, we got to run.
I should let you guys go.
Yep.
Okay,
thanks, Sharon.
a lot.
Thanks for calling. All righty, bye-bye. Okay, we're going to have to take a short break. We'll be back with the Garden Show after these short messages. All righty, we are back with you on the Garden Show today, and we have a couple special guests here in the room with us today. Well, with myself, Don. Not sure if he's still there. He might just call back here shortly. So Jerry and Tony. So Gene, that's the movie. Oh, you're there. Don is there.
I'm not all here, as you know, but
I'm partially
there. I'm with you.
So we're talking. We're talking about Gene, the movie, and there's a big premiere coming on.
Yes. The premiere is at the Mary Irwin Theater in 4 days, Wednesday, August the 21st.
In Kelowna.
In Kelowna. It starts at 7 p.m. The movie lasts 77 minutes long, and so that's kind of cool in the sense that, it's easy to watch. Actually, it's kind of difficult to watch because, in a sense, it's quite controversial and I can't say too much about the movie except that it is something that we've all thought about in the past, and it's certainly intriguing.
Mm-hmm.
That's a perfect hook, Jer. Perfect hook.
Well, I would use the word twisted.
You're talking about me or the movie?
Both.
A little bit of both.
A little bit of both.
Look, I'm going to have to just say goodbye here before I won't be here for the second half of the show. I wish I could, but we're getting Sabrina off. She's speaking in Denver tomorrow, so she's flying out to Denver today, and I'm going to spend the rest of the day here in their beautiful backyard in the garden, and I'm going to do some magic for them. So when she comes back from Denver, she'll see some differences.
Awesome.
We got Joe for his birthday. We bought him a pair of Falco shears.
Ooh, the good ones.
Years ago, when he was a teenager, I always wear shears, as you do, Ken, too. We always have our shears no matter where we go. And Joe said to me one day when he was about 15 or 16, he goes, "Prune anything today, Dad?" I said, "Yeah, well, probably.
Of course.
I'm always prepared." Anyway, so I got him a pair of Falcos. We all have Falcos. Jerry, I'm so proud of you, man, and I really encourage people to take that movie in. And Tony, you did a stellar job with the music background, and appreciate you coming on the show today. I'm going to say goodbye, and we'll see you when we get back to Kelowna.
Before you go, Don, just very quickly, everybody, Don is going to be introducing us at the theater, and we're going to be having a Q&A after the movie, a short Q&A for anybody that has questions about the movie and wants to discuss it further.
Fabulous. There you go.
Perfect.
All right. Thanks very much, Don.
And also, Don, I'd just like to thank you and Ken for having us on here today.
Absolutely.
It's absolutely fantastic. The support. That's what it's all about.
Did you learn anything? Did you learn anything, Tony?
Yeah, I did. I think I'm going to get one of those slender
Hinoki cypresses?
Hinoki cypresses.
There you go. Fabulous. Okay, Don. Thanks
guys.
very much.
Take care.
Yep.
Yeah.
Bye, Don.
Bye-bye.
Talk soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye. All right, there you go. That's Don Burnett calling in from Vancouver. And so it's we do actually have a caller on the line, but you know what? We'll see. Maybe what we can do is we've got Leanie on the line. And so, hello, Leanie, are you there?
I am here. Good morning.
We have about 4 minutes.
Okay, two things. One, I just missed what you were telling a caller earlier, or she was talking about last week. You gave her an idea of what to put in a spray bottle to stop mildew. Can you tell me quickly what that was? Yeah. And my real question is about a Japanese maple tree.
Sure, yeah. It's just baking soda and water, so about a teaspoon in about a half a liter of water. And it's just approximate. Just shake it up really good and spritz the entire plant down, especially the new growth. It will prevent it, but it won't kill it, but it'll stop it. So
gotcha.
There you go.
I think I've got a zucchini plant that's suffering and dying. So
and temperatures are getting a little cooler now, so you got to get that on now. Yeah, you bet.
So would that be affecting my Japanese maple? Was actually burning, so we moved it to a less sunny area in the back of my house. And now she looks like she's withering. I don't know what to do for her.
Whereabouts are you located?
In Victoria.
In Victoria? Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it shouldn't be a sunburn problem on that plant. So if you have some crispiness going on the leaves, is it on the edges of the leaves?
Exactly. They're turning crispy brown.
Yeah, so it's probably a water issue more than anything.
Too much or too little?
Too little, usually. They are a plant that is not drought tolerant, so that means they don't like to go without water. And
I water every day, though.
Oh, you do? Well, make sure you're watering deep enough. Just we talked about like a plant like that. You need to put about an inch of water on the surface of the soil underneath the plant about once every second day or so, something like that. And so the key is not a bunch of, like, say, short waterings, but maybe one really good, long, deep soaking. And if you're starting to wilt right now, you will know right away if you go out and give it a good, heavy soaking, and that thing just perks right up, even though it's crispy, it'll still perk up, and then you'll know that was the issue. But if you give it a good soaking and it doesn't perk up, then it's possibly a disease that affects Japanese maples. And unfortunately, there may not be anything you can do about that, unfortunately. So if the plant just slowly dies off, the key with that disease is called verticillium, V-E-R-T, verticillium. Verticillium wilt is a disease that affects maples, and it causes them to wilt. And it causes them to not do well, and it's in the soil sometimes, so you can't replant with another one.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's a tricky one. But I'm hoping what you'll do is go out and give it heavy soaking of water, like 2, 3, 4 times, like wait 15 minutes between each watering, just to make sure. And if that thing perks up, you're off to the races and you'll be fine. But if it doesn't perk up...
I can put that maple back in direct sunshine and it cannot get too much sun?
No, it's good in the sun. Like we're here in the hot heat of the Okanagan, and we have Japanese maples right out in the heat, and they're all fine.
I'll be darned.
But they do need regular water. That's the key.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Okay, well, good luck. And if something changes, maybe next weekend, if you want, call back in, and we'll just get an update, and we can maybe tell you a little more about verticillium if that's what you have.
Gotcha. Hope we don't go that route. Thank you so much. Have a great weekend.
You too, Leanie. Take care.
Okay, bye-bye.
Yeah, bye-bye. All righty. So there you go. That's just been a great first half of the show here. We're going to come back in a few minutes. We'll be continuing on talking about gardening, and we might just finish up with a quick chat here about the movie Genie, or Gene, not Genie. We got it right this time. All right, so we'll be back after these few messages with more of The Garden Show. All righty, we are back. It is another gardening day here in British Columbia, Canada. It's a great spot to be, and cool things are happening. And one of the cool things that's happening is Gene, the movie, which we were just talking about briefly, because we just happen to have some friends who are in the biz. You're in the biz now. You guys are big movie producers now.
Oh, yeah.
It's awesome. Pretty cool. But, yeah, so, Jerry, how did this all come about? Again, just a real quick snapshot, and then we'll get back into the garden.
Sure. It might be a little long-winded, but kick me when I've gone over time.
Okay.
So it just brings back memories. I was in the studio here with Don Burnett on your show.
Yep.
And this was a couple of years ago. What happened was I had created a 3D animation movie of what Kelowna used to look like, downtown Kelowna, back in 1965. And so I had Don Burnett, of course, he's a historian. Mm-hmm. He had some old phone books that I used to glean the phone numbers of former businesses back then, and their street addresses, and the yellow pages, and I could get a visual as to what Kelowna downtown used to look like. Mm-hmm. So I created this quick 22 minutes long, actually, but it went from the sales downtown up to Shops Capri, and then back again to the Aquatic with the old post office there and that sort of thing. So I put it out 2 years ago in April, and we had it on Don's Facebook. The following day, I'm reading the comments that came from this movie, and I started to tear up because so many people who grew up here saw this, and it just brought back so many memories. It's just the music is great as well. So anyhow, I'm on the show, and Don says to me, "What's next, Hollywood?" And that's exactly what I did. I laughed.
Oh, there you go.
And but it stuck with me a bit because I thought, if I can do 22 minutes of animation, could I create this movie from my first published book, Gene? And yes, that's what I did.
Oh, that's just a fabulous story. Well, that's great. And so now it's led all the way through. It must have taken some time to piece it all together.
It took 22 months at 10 hours per day of animation. Animation is a very slow process. The movie itself consists of about 300,000 still frames to create 77 minutes of animation.
Oh, my goodness. That's amazing.
Not only the movie, the animation itself, but then now we have to talk about characters, the voices. We have to talk background music. And I had used canned music just to create the scenes and give myself an idea of what kind of music for each scene. And here I run into Tony Conan.
Yes.
So Tony, I asked Tony if he could do a cover song for the end of the movie. He came back about 4 days later, and it was just an incredible sound. Tony?
Yeah, fabulous.
Yeah, I did a cover song of Rolling Stones, actually.
Oh, nice.
And it was completely different, and I thought, well, I'm going to throw it at him anyways. And then I started working with that, and I completed that, and Jerry loved it. And so then I thought, well, okay, I'm going to take this on. And I said, well, but the only thing is, if I'm going to do the music, I'm going to do all of the music. I'm not going to, and so he agreed. And so I went ahead and completed the rest of the movie with all the instrumentation and
all the sound.
Vocals.
And vocals. There's vocals in it as well. And sound effects from my voice and sound effects from, Home Depot pails.
Like you were saying, it sounds like a lot of fun, actually.
Oh, it was great fun.
Oh, that's great.
I want to do it again.
And then we brought people into the studio, courtesy of Tim Ford, McLaren Studios.
Oh yes, yeah.
And for voices, and one young man. We're getting quite a team behind this because it takes a lot of resources. It takes a lot of people to pull this together to make it. Certainly on a professional level that it is now. And we brought in a young man, Lucas Rachowski, and he got in the studio, and we gave him a script, and we started working with Lucas, trying to get him to not only read the script, but act as well with his voice. And that's quite a talent to be able to do this. And eventually Lucas got through it, and with a few small tweaks, because one thing that can be done with this whole situation is I've got some excellent software that can tweak voices, create more emphasis here and there. It's to express the feeling that I'm trying to project into the scene.
Oh, that's just amazing. It's fabulous. It's so great that you've come all the way through to fruition now, and now you're able to actually present it. And so let's do one more time, the place.
Absolutely,
everything.
Ken. It's coming up very quickly. It's going to be on Wednesday, August the 21st, at the Mary Irwin Theater here in Kelowna, downtown Kelowna, at the Rotary Center for the Arts. And tickets are only $15, by the way.
Nice.
And it's rated 13 plus because it's quite a controversial movie, and for some people, I'll tell you what, it's going to keep you on the edge of the seat throughout the movie, and it's certainly entertaining, and it's thought provoking.
That's fascinating, and it's an animation, which makes it really cool.
Oh yeah,
and so Tony, you may have just opened up a whole new career for yourself here.
Well, I've done this before, Ken.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I've done this before, and not to this extent, not for 77 minutes, but I've written for pilots before, and
oh, nice.
Yeah, and that sort of thing. So
you've done a lot of recording of all kinds. Yeah,
recording of all kinds, but this one is really special.
Oh, that's cool.
I'm really happy with the way the soundtrack turned out.
Well, it sounds great. That sounds great. And so we'll be looking for you on this Wednesday night. And so can people buy the tickets in advance, or do they just
Yes,
buy
they can. They can buy it online. They can buy tickets online at RotaryCenterForTheArts.com.
There you go.
Or they can buy it at the box office if they walk into the center. Yeah.
Yeah, perfect.
One other thing, Ken, is that the facility, the Mary Irwin, if listeners out there haven't been there, it's a great theater. The seating is all very good, and the sound system is amazing. It's 60,000 watts, and the screen's 24 feet, and the movie is high definition, so it's
awesome.
really immersive.
And they also have a beverage center. It's going to be right by the front door. You can buy alcohol or non-alcohol drinks. And, so we're ready to go.
Oh, that's fabulous, guys. Well, hey, that's it's been a really a fun time learning about the movie, Gene, and about you guys and all the fun you've had and your connection with Dawn, and it's really been a great time. So, hey, thanks very much for coming out today, and we will see you on the big screen.
Thanks, Ken. Thank you.
Ken.
Yeah. Thank you, Ken. Thank you, Don. Thank you, listeners.
All righty, there you go. So we're going to take a short break here. We still do invite your calls, 862-2525 or 1-888-780-4273 to get through to us today, answering your gardening questions. And we'll be back right after these messages with more of The Garden Show. Alrighty, we are back with you, and it is a lovely day. The sun's coming out here in the Okanagan. It's looking just lovely out there. Alrighty, we're going to go back to the phone lines. It looks like we have Brianna on the line, on line 1. Good morning, Brianna.
Hi there.
Hello, how are we doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good, thanks. Yeah, so you have a question for us today, or?
Oh, well, I was just actually hoping to call in and talk a little bit about an opera production that we have coming up in Kelowna.
Oh, cool.
It's two operas that are pretty well known, Pagliacci and Gianni Schicchi, so one very sad, one very funny.
Mm-hmm.
But the agricultural connection is we have set the whole production in the Okanagan in the 1930s, and we've actually connected with a bunch of folks in the community, some local farms and some families with deep roots in the city, and borrowed some actual objects from Okanagan history to help make our set something that's really a celebration of local agricultural and especially Italian history in the city.
Oh, that sounds fabulous. So when is this? When does it happen?
It happens next week. So it's August 23rd and 24th.
Mm-hmm.
It's performed at the Kelowna Community Theater, and it's a fully professional cast. We've got some local chorus members, and we have an orchestral ensemble, too. For folks who don't speak Italian, don't worry. We have translations for everything that's going on projected above the stage in English, so everybody can follow along. I think it's going to be a great night, and there's still some tickets available. Starts at 7:30 p.m., and information can be found at operakelowna.com.
Fabulous. And so they can purchase tickets ahead of time, or how does that work?
Absolutely. Yeah, definitely recommend purchasing tickets ahead of time. And we have a pretty big range of ticket prices. So it's a professional show, but we're definitely trying to make it as accessible as possible to everybody who might want to come. So we got some kid prices and some senior prices as well.
Cool. So one more time with the website?
www.operakelowna.com. The show is Pagliacci and Gianni Schicchi, and a shout out to our friends at the Kelowna Canadian Italian Club who have helped us connect with farms around town to borrow everything from orchard equipment to even a tractor that you're going to see on stage.
That sounds very cool. Well, that's awesome, Brianna. Thank you so much for calling in today.
Thank you very much. Have a great day.
You too. All right. Bye-bye. All righty, we're going to move on to Chuck. Good morning, Chuck. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. Yourself?
Yeah, I'm doing pretty good, thanks.
We're going to get back to gardening.
You betcha. There's enough bugs out there for all of us to chat about. Yeah.
The question I'm going to ask you is going to be for my son in Ontario. So
sure.
You may not have the answer, and that's quite fine.
Mm-hmm.
But he grows kale, beautiful kale, but he found this year on the bottom of the leaves there's some kind of bugs that kind of have webs with them, and they're not aphids. What could they be, and how do you get rid of them? I think I sent you a picture of them this morning.
Oh, did you? Oh, boy. I'm not sure if I can get that email. You know what I'll do, though, is we'll chat about it today, and then I'll have a look when I get back to my office. Unfortunately, I just didn't have that email on my phone. But so with any of the kale varieties, they're always prone to insects that come onto the foliage. Some of them are in the form of what's actually called a tentifolia leaf miner, which is this thing that forms these little little tented sort of little webbings on the undersides of the leaves.
Sounds like it.
And they're like little patches here and there, and they're common on certain types of plants, and not as common on kale, but it does occur on kale. Yeah. And then there's, of course, the kale aphid, which forms an absolute gray mat over the entire bottom of the leaf. And I'll just tell you right now that it doesn't matter what the insect is. You always try to grow your kale inside of a cage, and the cage would be like a box shape, maybe just the corners of the box covered with insect mesh. And the insect mesh is available at any garden center. It's very common these days. And what I would do is staple it to like a box shape and then just set the box over top of the plant. Now, depending on the type of kale, some kale gets quite tall, like some is up to 4 feet or so, or sometimes even higher. But I would start with the box based on the type of kale that I grow. And then you can just set it right over top of the plant. And, it's just so amazing how you can grow a plant inside of one of these mesh boxes or frames. Yes. And get absolutely no insects. You get no aphids, no caterpillars, no leaf miners, nothing. It's just beautiful, clean kale.
So otherwise, when you get them, there's no real way to get rid of them.
Well, there is. The way to do it is, I would say, is by spraying them with a hard spray of water day after day after day after day until eventually they give up or you give up, one or the other. But it is tough when once an insect takes a real strong foothold, it's hard to deal with them. But when you spray them off and they go flying everywhere, they're fairly attached to that original plant. So even though they're going on surrounding plants and stuff, they don't like tomato plants, and they don't like the weeds, and they don't like grasses. They really like the cabbage family. So what you do is you just try not to get it on other cabbages. And then what happens is they struggle, they run around in a panic after you wash them off, and then that's when the wasps come in and eat them, or little birds come in and eat them, or ladybugs or other insects, let's say, that would come in and consume them once they're detached from the original plant. And even if there's a few bugs left on the plant, generally there's some beneficial organism somewhere around that'll come in and clean them up. But it's that daily spraying of a fairly hard spray of water on the undersides of the leaves. And what I buy these watering wands. They're about 30 inches long, and the end of it curves. And then you can buy different attachments on the end of it for like fine spray or coarse spray. And you kind of get a fine spray on high pressure. Just get underneath those things with that and just shoot upwards and wash the leaves off. And, you do that if you did it every day for 5 days straight, I would be surprised if there was anything left. I mean, the plant would be there, but the insects would be gone.
The plant may even be happy.
Maybe, yeah. It gives them a little break. They're not getting all the sap sucked out of them, right?
So what did you call that mesh again, Ken?
They just call it insect mesh is common.
Insect mesh,
yeah, there's a bunch of different names, or garden mesh, or they'll say garden screen. It's just got to be fine. It's usually fine, and it's usually whitish in color, and it's like a nylon mesh sort of thing.
Sounds great.
Nice and fine, keeps everything out.
Very good. Thank you very much.
Okay,
I was suggesting to him, try water, spray the leaves.
Yeah.
That's what you do for aphids. Maybe it'd work with these things too. So anyhow.
It probably would. It's just consistency every day for like 5 to 7 days, and then usually they've had enough. They're moving somewhere else.
Very good.
All right.
Okay.
Thanks, Chuck.
Thanks very much. Appreciate the help. It was very good.
No problem.
Have a good day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All righty. There you go. Another, this is the thing with insect mesh. I find on just about any kind of vegetable, it can be useful. It's just all about how tall the vegetable grows. That means you have to build a box or a hoop or a little cold frame of some sort of a frame for the mesh to mount onto so that your plants can live within it. And then you just lift up the edge to reach in to do weeding. Watering, you can water straight through the insect mesh. You don't have to remove it to water. I have drip lines on the ground surface, and they drip into the ground, and then I just put my frame over top of it, and with the mesh on it. And, growing onions, no onion maggot. Can you imagine? No onion maggots. And the best thing I find, spinach. Like, I love spinach, but I hate all the leaf miners. It drives me nuts. But a leaf miner is a little fly. So if you use insect mesh, you don't get any flies coming in, and no caterpillars and no aphids, and it just goes on and on. It's great. The only thing you have to deal with insect mesh is crawling insects. So earwigs and maybe slugs. Maybe you would have weevils. They're a common crawler. There's a few insects that'll crawl in that can cause you some issues, but generally, that's what you do, is use that insect mesh. And what I do is I have my diatomaceous earth, which is a powdery product, and it comes in a little puffer bottle, and I just puff around the ground underneath all these plants, like even lettuce, fabulous, absolutely clean. But you do get slugs underneath, or little pill bugs that'll come in and chew on them. But a little puff with that diatomaceous earth, it's completely non-toxic. It's inert. And, that sort of thing on the ground level keeps all those crawling insects under control. So there you go. Boom. There's your recipe for success in the garden. All right. We might just take it looks like we have Dan Bruce back on the line. We'll take Dan, and we'll maybe continue him after the break as well. So, hello, Dan. How are you?
Well, I'm doing all right this morning. I had to go earlier. Things were happening outside.
Hopefully all good.
It's all good now.
Perfect. So what have you got up your sleeve today?
Well, we should all of us spare a thought for the people in Bermuda who are experiencing Hurricane Ernesto as we speak.
Oh, no, that's not good.
And Bermuda usually gets away with it, but this time Ernesto actually made landfall on the western side of Bermuda. The good news is that Ernesto is not as strong as they had initially predicted. And Bermuda is getting wet. It's getting washed. But they've been close before they know what to do. But the gardening issue there, of course, is the amazing collection of Bermuda roses.
Oh, really?
That are found in they're cultivated roses, but they're old varieties that have been lost in all other parts of the world. So, back in 1954, they the governor of Bermuda founded the Bermuda Rose Society, which is still very much up and running. And they are very conscious of the fact that they are the guardians of these now unique roses. But rest assured that they have a lot of experience with this, and they take the proper precautions that the hurricane is not going to eliminate any of them.
Well, yeah, when you think roses, you don't usually think of Bermuda, typically.
No.
I don't, but...
There are a lot of roses that are on the tender side, and of course the hybrid tea is one of them.
Yes, absolutely.
So they do really well. But they've been growing there since the 17th century.
Right, so they've experienced a few near misses with the hurricanes in the past.
Yes.
But this one sounds like it's a bit more devastating.
Has actually hit the island. But as I said, the intensity of the storm is considerably less than the prediction of about 4 or 5 days ago.
Well, that's good. Thank God for that.
Yeah. Anyway, the other thing that's happening later today, I'm going over to Fintry to help prepare for the late summer festival, which is tomorrow.
Oh, tomorrow. There you go.
Yes. And we're featuring the bat population at Fintry.
Oh, how's the population doing?
Seems to be doing all right. I haven't heard any reports of white nose syndrome from there yet.
That's good.
So the bats seem to be doing okay and keeping the mosquito population, if not eliminated, at least keeping it on the move. And a moving mosquito is a good mosquito.
Yes.
It's not sitting on you.
Exactly. So let's talk a little bit about tomorrow and what's happening and how do we find it? What do we do?
It's obviously taking place at Fintry, right on the lawn, as we usually have our fair events. And there will be the collection of vendors on the lawn with various products and items of interest. Mm-hmm. Tours of the manor house will be going on. There will be some guest speakers who will be doing short presentations here and there on the subject of bats. So, we have this event in place of a fair later in September, because at the moment, of course, the campers are all camping. Mm-hmm. If you have a fair after the Labor Day weekend, then most of the campers are gone. Kids are back in school.
Right.
The Armstrong Fair has fared everybody out.
Yes.
We decided to move the date forward.
Well, that makes sense.
Last year we had issues because although fire was nowhere near Fintry, we were still under evacuation order.
Right.
For the longest time. Mm-hmm. But tomorrow doesn't look very fiery, at least at the moment.
It looks nice and clear. And we had a really good rainfall yesterday, so that was nice.
We did, and it rained here. I got all my water buckets filled. Mm-hmm. Things are looking quite cheerful outside.
Oh, that's fabulous.
I have a little hole in the roof of the veranda here, which turns into a roof leak, but in order for it to leak, the water has to come down pretty heavily. So It's one of those rare occasions when I see, there's water pooling on the floor of the veranda. That's a good thing. It means it's rained.
Yeah, we don't get much rain in summer. I haven't seen rain in August in years, so this is a real treat in a way.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, it's fabulous, Dan. Well, we're gonna, I guess, move on. We've got to take a break, and thanks so much for calling back in. I did see you called in earlier, and it's nice to see you back.
Well, there was a four-legged visitor in the garden that the dogs were attending to, and they called for backup. So
there you go. All right, Dan. Well, thanks. Was there anything else you need to add?
No, other than. As they say nowadays, enjoy the rest of your day.
Yes, absolutely. All right, and we'll see you at Fintry tomorrow.
Yes.
All righty.
Okay.
Thanks, Dan. Take care.
Bye for now.
Yeah, bye-bye. All righty, we're going to take a short break, and we'll be right back with more of The Garden Show after these few messages. Welcome back, everyone. And yes, we're talking gardening. We've had an exciting show, a bunch of different topics coming up today, but always get back to gardening eventually. And, it is August, and August is the month for tidying up your irises. And I believe that was one of my tips of the week back at the beginning of August. And I know my irises are needing cleaning up. The tips of the foliage are starting to turn brown. I don't water my irises that much, but occasionally they're definitely showing some summer stress. But, you can go out at this time of year and you can do iris divisions where you reduce the size of them, because like an iris in the garden could get to be sometimes 4 or 5 feet in diameter over time. And, you really want to keep them in that sort of 1 to 2 foot diameter. And that just sort of keeps them rejuvenated and keeps them happy and growing vigorously at the beginning of the year. And at this time of year, they're definitely slowing down. So I just go out with my pruners and I just give them a nice snip at about 4 inches off the ground. I leave a little bit of foliage and I pull off all the dead stuff and I clean them right up. And remember, with irises, they don't mind to have their roots sort of exposed on the surface. They're like a rhizomatous root system that sits right on the surface. And not a bad idea to just let those things do their thing. And, they'll grow back a little bit this year, but they get super excited about spring when it gets closer. And, what I'll do sometimes is that iris will just keep growing outwards, like from the center. So when it's newly planted, it forms a central part to the plant, and then it just keeps growing outwards and outwards and outwards. And once it gets to be about 3 feet in diameter, the best, most healthiest part of the plant is around the outer perimeter of that plant. So when we do iris division, we're always taking the outermost pieces that are the healthiest and the strongest looking, and getting rid of all the old roots from the center of the plant and moving those big, healthier chunks into the middle. And on a division, I like to divide a chunk of iris about 12 inches in diameter, and that's kind of a nice piece that'll really perform next year. So really nice to do. Good time to multiply. As a landscaping tip, anytime you're doing landscaping, you want to have a certain amount of repetition in the landscape where you have the same plant in different locations all blooming at the same time and the same colors and that sort of thing. So it is a real nice touch to have repetition. And so again, in August, if you're doing your iris divisions, and you just have one beautiful big iris, well, why not divide it a little bit, move it around, put a little over here and a little over there, and then when they do bloom, they all come on at once, and it really, really gives you a beautiful show in the spring, in late spring and early. It's not even early summer. Most of them are blooming around the end of April or through the month of May, depending on the variety. But yeah, iris is still one of my favorite plants after all these years. It's an old-fashioned perennial, but one of the best. It's hard to get plants that have those huge blooms. Many of them are very, very fragrant, very nice. And they're great. They can be one of the most colorful plants of the garden. And just to bump your iris growing up a bit, what you can do is combine it with other plants that bloom at the same time. And again, at this time of year, that's something you can do. And when it comes to, I always mention if you plant irises, usually plant some peonies with it, because often the peonies will bloom at the same time as the irises. We're talking German irises here. But I think the peonies are better to be moving in the month of September, which is just around the corner. And I'll often mention that as my tip of the week in September, that peonies, it's a time to do divisions and moving peonies around. But peonies take a long time to settle down and to perform. So if you're having good performance out of your peonies, then, if it's not broke, don't fix it, as they say. In other words, leave them alone, let them do their thing, and they will definitely they'll definitely perform better. It's just once they get really big, or if they're just not performing, maybe it is time to relocate them or, reset them in a different location. But yeah, so in the summertime, we also look at deadheading around the garden. With some plants and some garden perennials, they do respond, meaning that if I deadhead them or cut the tops off, then often they'll push out new shoots and rebloom again. But not all perennials do that. So plants like your Shasta daisies, which, they'll put on a beautiful show here about a month ago, right through July mostly. And then when they're finished, the flower heads just kind of dry up, and that's where deadheading comes in. But with Shastas, they typically don't rebloom. So that means what you do is when they're finished blooming, you cut them right down to literally to the ground to about 4 to 5 inches high. Cut them straight off and just get rid of those flower heads. One of the reasons we do deadheading is not just to make the plant look tidier or to encourage more bloom, but it's also to remove the seeds that are in those seed heads, because those seeds will just start spreading around and they become almost like a weed in their own garden. Like, it's nice to have a few Shasta daisies. I mean, they're so bright in color. That bright white is just amazing in the garden. 3 or 4 of them is awesome. But to have an absolute solid embankment of them, well, it's pretty showy. But then when it's done, it's done. So you need to have something else to come on. So I always just say, try to keep your plants sort of in their location. Don't let them spread around too much. And deadheading is one way that you do help to prevent them from spreading around the garden. So something to practice. Another little topic that I wanted to talk about today was just about plants in the garden that set their buds, their flower buds, in the summer for next spring. And many of you know the rhododendron family and azaleas. They are all going to be setting their buds now for next spring. So you don't want to be doing too much pruning on those plants at this time of year. You keep your pruning on the spring blooming plants to right immediately after they bloom. That's the best time to prune those. Even plants like lilacs are like that. The lilacs, many of them, they produce their buds in end of July through August, and so we don't want to be disturbing or snipping at them, cutting the tips of the shoots off, because that would be just literally eliminating the bloom for next year. Now, other plants are different, and they'll flower on new growth, like maybe Rose of Sharon, for example. Rose of Sharon, you can trim it in the springtime. It'll still bloom like crazy. If you prune it before it flowers, it'll still bloom. But, the key is sort of understanding when your plants bloom and whether they bloom on new growth or on old growth from last year. So just an awareness thing. I really watch for magnolias, because you'll see those magnolia trees. If you have a magnolia, you'll already start to see those big fuzzy buds coming on the plant. They're getting ready to produce a flower for next spring. And the fuzz is like the little fur coat. Keeps them nice and warm, through the winter months. And you'll see, again, those rhododendrons always produce the big fat buds on the tips of the shoots, ready for spring bloom. And in the case of rhododendrons, they'll bloom pretty much every month of the year, but a lot of them are blooming through April and May, and it is one of the most colorful shrubs that are out there, and they're also a broadleafed evergreen in most cases, so it's a nice plant. Azaleas, some of the azaleas, Japanese azaleas, are evergreen, and we also have deciduous azaleas, which are not evergreen. They're actually deciduous, lose their leaves, but you'll see those buds on the tips of the shoots, which will last right through the winter, just like a rhododendron. In the spring, just before they leaf out, they'll open up those beautiful blooms and let her rip. It'll be a massive show. As always, the deciduous azaleas are quite colorful and very, very nice as well. So there you go. That's just a little snapshot of what's going on in August. And we're going to take another short break. We do have time for maybe one or two more calls if anybody wants to get a call in. And, so we'll be right back after these messages with more of The Garden Show. Welcome back to the show. And we're going to go straight to the phone lines. We have Addie on the line. Good morning, Addie.
Good morning, Ken. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good, thanks. How are you?
I'm fine, thanks. I'm just loving this weather.
Yeah.
Ken, earlier you were talking about mulch with nature's gold, and I had to leave the radio station for a few minutes because I had a knock on the door, so I didn't get to talk what you were talking about, a mulch with nature's gold in it. Like, is it something that you would put down for fertilizing your plants over winter?
Nature's Gold is something that we get here in the Okanagan. I'm not sure it's available everywhere yet, but it may be. But it's basically a composted product, and it's available in different size particles. So it's got a super fine particle, which can be used for top dressing lawns. Sometimes it's called 3/8 minus. Or it can be called a top dressing mix. You can mix it with sand, that sort of thing. It's super fine. It works really good for top dressing lawns. And then there's a medium-sized product, which you can use as a surface mulch. You can put it on the surface. It looks very nice, black color. Each particle is only about a half an inch in size. And that can also be mixed with soil, that sort of thing, to make a nice composty soil. But there's also the chunkier Nature's Gold product, which is they just call regular landscape mulch. And that chunky product is used for surface mulching, where we put it on the surface to suppress weeds. And we also can bury up plants like roses and other plants we've had issues with here in the Okanagan. We might even mulch maybe some hydrangeas, some of the macrophylla hydrangeas. There are some plants here that do benefit from a little winter protection, so that's what's used is the sort of the chunkier product.
So it really doesn't have any added fertilizer or anything for it. It's basically just to protect from the winter cold.
Well, it is a compost product, and it actually has quite a bit of nutrient in it. So it does make a big difference. So even if you just spread it on the surface of the soil around plants, it'll feed the soil, and it'll add quite a bit of nutrients. So it's good. It's like adding compost.
Okay, so which one would be better? The medium, like for plants like roses and just normal perennials. Is the medium one better, or is the chunky one better?
I like the chunky one to go between plants. It's much better, yeah, because you put it on about 2.5 inches thick. And I try not to bury the plants directly with it, during the regular season. In the wintertime, it doesn't matter. You can bury plants with it. But in the regular season, I go between the plants with it, and it really adds. It helps to hold moisture in the ground. It keeps the ground a little bit cooler. And, it adds nutrient, feeds the earth.
So if I was to chop down or cut down my... like I've got a real large amount of morning glories that come up every spring. Now, when I cut them down in the fall, if I just put the mulch down on that, they'll still come through that.
Those are the seeded flowering morning glories, right?
Correct.
Yeah, I think you'd still get quite a few growing. Yeah, there may be some that if it's heavily, like if it's quite thick, they may not come through that. But in most cases, they should be fine. They would actually appreciate that mulch and probably grow like crazy.
So we're thinking the medium would be fine, better for those, and the chunky?
Yeah, I think medium. If you want the seeds to germinate and grow, then you might want to go with the thinner product or the finer one.
Get them at, like I could get them at Bylands or Art Naps or wherever.
You should be able to. You just have to find your closest supplier and go and see what they have. And, you can ask for, they call it Nature's Gold Premium, which I know here in the Okanagan, it's sold often as a bagged product. And sometimes they have it bulk. And if it's bulk, again, you can fill up these big black plastic bags with it. And that's a good way to get it as well.
Super. Okay, thank you very much. You have a great week.
Okay, thanks, Addie. Thanks for calling.
You're welcome.
Bye-bye. All right, bye-bye. Yeah, there you go. There's a lot to be said about Nature's Gold products and some of the other products that are available here locally in the Okanagan. We're pretty lucky to have a pretty good supply of different composted products that a lot of them are made with the local shredding that goes on with branches and things from the community. So that works really quite well. So there you go. Well, it's been a great show. It's really been a lot of fun. All the different topics we covered today. Some about gardening, some not so much, but still was a nice show. It was really good. I thought we covered a lot of gardening topics, and we really do appreciate your call. We're all going to get out to Fintry tomorrow, maybe. Fintry's having their fall fair. It's a little early this year, a summer fair. And they have all kinds of vendors there, and it's just a fun event. They're doing tours of the Manor House. That's fabulous. And we can also, if you're interested, to get out on Wednesday night out to see Gene, the animated movie. It's about 77 minutes, he says. It's really a cool show. So anybody listening at the beginning of the show might have tuned into that, and it's the premiere, so it's going to be cool. And that's down at the Rotary Center for the Arts. Now, on that note, what we'll do is we'll just go to the tip of the week. All right, now my tip of the week this week is that as the temperatures start to reduce as we go through August, so should our irrigating. And it doesn't mean that the duration, so how long it runs, we change. What really changes is how often we water. So, and when it's hot out, we do have to water a little extra and a little extra deep to make sure the water gets in. But as it starts to cool off, we can back off a little bit, especially we just got a little bit of rain, so we could skip an extra day if we wanted. and that would just help to conserve some more water for the community, and it's always helpful to do that. All right, now my plant of the week this week was the crab grass, which is a pesky weed that shows up in August, and it proliferates in the perimeters of your lawns. It always comes in off the sidewalk or off the roadway because the seeds seem to travel down the sidewalks in the wind and down the road. They end up attaching or coming into the lawn right on the edge of the lawn, and then the crabgrass grows right along the edge. And you can see it. It's a lighter green color at first. It's sometimes slightly fuzzier looking than the regular lawn. And it just looks different. And now it's starting to go to seed. So now we see it. We see these little sticky 2-inch long little twigs with massive little seeds on them growing along the edges of the walkway. And sometimes, if they're ignored, they will spread through the whole lawn, and they have to be pulled by hand. So you're better off to get ahead of those and get them out now before they go to seed again. So that's a recommendation. If you have to, in the springtime, you can hire a company to come in and apply what's called a pre-emergence herbicide that kills the seeds of the crabgrass. That'll prevent it from being a problem that it is, but they keep coming in anyway. So that's the way it goes. Watch out for crabgrass. You can see it now, but you have to stop it in the springtime. All right, that's my tips and plans for this week. Remember to check growercoach.com and Grower Coach on YouTube. And you know, on YouTube, I just put out a video, I believe it was last night, in regards to the crabgrass. So I show some pictures of crabgrass growing in a sidewalk, and you can see what the crabgrass looks like, and you can see the shape of it. It looks very much like a crab almost. I guess that's where it got its name. And also show it on the edges of the sidewalk as it's creeping in, and also just reiterate some of these tips about how to manage it. So crabgrass, it comes about in August, but you really have to start right at the beginning of the season when the first forsythias bloom. That's typically when you start managing crabgrass. But pulling it right now is not a bad idea, and I would be on it for sure. If I had a lawn, I would be pulling it. I don't have a lawn, so I don't seem to have any crabgrass. I guess that's the way it goes. But anyway, thank you all so much for tuning in today. It's always fun to get on the radio and chat about plants and gardening. Remember to check growercoach.com for other ideas and for some plants and videos, that sort of thing. And tune into The Garden Show. We're on every week on Saturday mornings at 8 a.m. So we'll see you again next week with more of The Garden Show.